Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name's Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. Today I thought I would go through with you Dal Segnos, Codas, repeats and all that kind of things that you get in sheet music. I'm going to be going through a couple of examples and slightly different ones and how I go through them, how I work them out, etc, etc. A few little tips and tricks that I personally use for when I'm playing pieces like this in performances and things like that. I'm doing this a little bit more of a vlog style, which is why I've set the camera up here, so which is why I'm not on it, but I am here, everyone. It just saves me setting up the equipment in a little bit more of a formal way, which just takes forever to do. So I thought I would do it in a kind of a vlog style where you're not seeing me, but you can see my appendages anyway. So, okay. So this is a piece of music that I'm going to be playing for a wedding that I've got coming up on Saturday. Incidentally, I do intend vlogging for that wedding, and I would imagine that the vlog for that wedding, if I do manage to get some decent footage, will be up before this video. So if you want to go and see that vlog, I'm playing the violin at a wedding, click in the description underneath this video and you'll see that linked under there, because I'm pretty sure that vlog will go out before this. This is one of the pieces that I'm going to be playing for a wedding. Now this is, you might wonder why I've got this kind of music for me playing the violin at a wedding, and this is because sometimes all I can get hold of are things like piano and vocal. So you can see you've got three lines. So these two lines here, or these two staves here, this is for the piano part. You've got some chords above it as well with tab if you want to play with the guitar, etc. It's a bit kind of piano, vocal, guitar sort of thing. And then for the violin, I would just play the top line, the vocal line, with a backing track accompaniment that I have. Sometimes I do actually, depending on how much time I have, I do actually write the top line out again into a music program, something called Sibelius. But that can just be a little bit time consuming, but since I'm going to be taking this this backing with me as well, this fits quite nicely on there anyway. So the first thing I would do to prepare for a piece of music like this is not get caught out by not knowing where all the repeats are, and all the first time bars, the second time bars. That is something you do not want to be doing on the fly, folks. You want to be sorting that out beforehand. So I'm going to be showing you what I do for that, and I'm just going to pass you over to my other camera that I've got as well so that I can give you some close-ups. Right, okay, so once I've found and printed out the music that I want, what I will then do is just stick it all together with, I've just got some sticky tape just on the back here, just so it's all as one and it's not bits aren't going to fall off all over the place. When I'm preparing for weddings, events, gigs, I don't know, whatever it is, the first thing I like to do is just to work out where it is I'm going to and from, and that will include things like Dal Segnos, repeat signs, first time bars, where it's repeating from, etc, etc. I do not want to be caught out on the day. Obviously I would have rehearsed these pieces anyway, especially if I don't know them, but also if I don't play these that often, I can't always remember every single piece of music that I've played. A lot of the time people will request music for wedding that I haven't played before or I haven't heard of. I mean, I've been playing for a long time, but I haven't played everything. So the first thing I do is grab a load of these highlighter pens, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with those for us in a second. So I'm going to start with, I don't know, a pink one, doesn't really matter what colour it is. Okay, now this is the introduction that we've got here. So the first thing I see is a repeat sign here. I'm not going to mark that just yet because I want to see where it's going to and from. So if I just follow the music along, oh, I'm noticing that there's a, oh, I know you can't see that, I'm noticing there's a Dal Segnos sign up there. I'm not going to do anything with that for a second. I'm just going to clock that and remember it. So then I'm looking through, I can see a 2 Codas sign here as well. So I'm just going to remember that that is on page 3. Okay, then when we're moving up here, we can see that there is a repeat there. So the first thing I'm going to do is just shade that in pink, and then go back to the repeats that we've got up here, and I'm going to shade that in pink. I don't need to bother with these 2 lines here because they're just for the piano parts. They're not going to concern me anyway. So once I get to, I play it from the beginning, obviously, to here. Once I get to here, this is the first time bar. So once I get here, I'm going to go all the way back to where the pink marking is and play from there. So actually you can see there's a second verse of words. So we're going to play it all the way through, and then we're going to jump to, actually when we get to here, we're not going to play the first time bar because we just played that on the first time around. We're going to jump to the second time bar and we're going to start from here. I don't need to mark that in because I can obviously see that that's the second time bar. Okay, so we're at the second time bar and we're going to keep going through until we see the next direction. So I can't see anything as yet, except when we get to here. So that's DS al coda. So DS is Dal Segno. Dal Segno is that little kind of little symbol that you get there, which is an S, a line, and 2 dots in it. So DS is Dal Segno. Dal Segno is that little symbol there. Al coda is to coda. So go back to the Dal Segno sign and play to the coda. So if you remember where the Dal Segno sign was, we said that was on page 3. So I'm looking for another one of those signs. And what I'm going to do is change this out for, I don't know, an orange one. Doesn't really matter. Highlighters are great because when you scribble over things, you can see markings through them. So we're going to go back to the Dal Segno, which was up here, and we're going to mark that with an orange. And then I'm also just going to mark this with an orange as well, so that I know when I get to this point here, I can see exactly on the music that I'm going to another orange bit. Can you see what I'm doing with the color coding? This is why it doesn't necessarily work with pencil, because even though you've circled things or marked things out with pencil, visually they're not that appealing. So the reason why I like this is if I go far back here, for example, you can see that you've got the Dal Segno there, and I can see within a snap of a finger that I've got to go exactly up here. As well, I sometimes are playing in poor lighting, so you know I do have those little desk lights that come over, but you know when you're in like a pitch black room, it can be quite difficult, and you need to make these decisions in a split second. So you don't want to be thumbing around going, oh, where is it, because you've missed it, you've missed your cue. Then it's very, very difficult to pick up with things. And like I said, I will have rehearsed this through. But when you're trying to look at the bride and you're trying to make sure that the bride has reached the top, has reached the altar, that you need to stop at the right place, or perhaps the vicar needs to speak and he's looking at you to stop talking. There's so many different things that you have to gauge. You have to gauge the volume, you know, because you're playing at someone's wedding where something is structured and scheduled out. So I don't want to be thinking of any of this. So anything to make my life easier. So anyway, so we Dal Segno al coda. So the Dal Segno is up here, and then we play to the coda. Where is the coda at? Remember we said the coda was there. So I'm just going to grab a yellow one and I'm going to mark coda with a yellow there, and then I'm just going to find the coda. So usually the coda is pretty much on the last page, and the coda is up there, and that's where the coda is. And I'm just checking to see if we've got any more repeats in here, and we don't. So that is the order of the piece. Okay, so let's do another one. So this is another piece of music that I'm actually going to be playing on Saturday for the bride and groom exit. So, okay, first thing I notice here is that you've got a repeat for the introduction. I may or may not play. It's, you know, that's just my discretion on how I feel like on the day. All I'm going to do is just put a circle around those in pencil because they're not important to me, but I still need to make sure I'm just counting them, otherwise I'll come in at the wrong time. And then we've got another repeat, which is there. Okay, now I'm going to grab a pink again. Right, so this is where it starts. Now I can see there is a repeat there, but I'm not going to mark that just yet because I just want to make sure that I'm not going to do anything stupid with the coloured pens to start with. So we're going to play it through. So we're following it through and we're looking for another repeat or a first time bar, or I don't know, something like that. We're just looking for our next instruction. So there is nothing here. And aha, so we've got the repeat sign up there. So what I'm going to do is colour that in pink, and then I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning and this one here, and I'm going to colour that one in pink as well. Boom. Okay, change pens. So once we've played all the way, all of this through from the beginning up to here, first time bar, we're going to go all the way back to the pink. And we're going to play all that through, blah, 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 blah. So instead of playing the first time bar, which we played on the first time round, when we get to there, we're going to skip over to the second time bar and follow the instructions from there. So we're going to play what's in the second time bar. Here we go, here we go. Okay, now we've got another DS Al Coda. So DS, Dal Segno, which is the little symbol there, Al Coda. So go back to the Dal Segno and play to the Coda. So let's colour him in yellow. Let's find the Dal Segno. Did anyone spot that on the way through? Ah, there it is. There's the Dal Segno. So we're going to mark him in yellow as well, so we know. So once we've been told to play from the Dal Segno, we go back to the Dal Segno and play it all the way through until we see the word to Coda, which is up here. And what I'm going to do is mark that one in orange because that's the Coda now. And where is the Coda? It's usually at the bottom, and then the Coda is there. And that is that with that one. So again, I really hope that you can see the whole point of having these coloured markers, and this is just what I do when I prepare myself for weddings and sheet music, and it is so much easier. Again, as I said before, if I don't play these pieces that often enough and I can't remember, because I can't remember everything, this really does help. And I'm not looking for symbols and signs and things like that, I'm just looking for associated colours, and that helps me. Okay, so let's just do one more because this is slightly different. There's a few odd things in here. Now this is Ordinary People by John Legend. I'm going to grab another marker again. Okay, so we're going through, clocking a few things as we're going down. To Coda 2 with two little coda signs. So this is where it just sort of gets a little bit confusing. So Coda 1, right, we haven't actually been told to do anything yet. We're looking for a DS, Dal Segno. So there's nothing here, there's no repeats or anything like that, etc, etc. So this would be a classical example of one of those pieces that you really don't want to be marking up on the fly or playing on the fly, because trust me, you're going to get there and you're going to go, what? Because you're just not going to know what's going on. Okay, so carrying on, where are we? Okay, DS Al Coda. So this one doesn't have the little sign, a DS and the little sign thing. It doesn't have to. Dal Segno is still that sign. So what I'm going to do is DS Al Coda 1. So the DS was up here. Play to Coda 1. Now we're going to... So once we played it all the way through, so the first page, the second page, and then we get to here, DS Al Coda 1. So we're going to go back to the DS and we're going to play until it says Coda 1, which is at the bottom here, Coda 1. So I'm going to mark Coda 1 with an orange. And at this point here, we go to Coda 1. Where is Coda 1? Coda 1 is here on the next page, so I'm going to mark that with orange. So once we get to there, we literally, we jump straight over to here, okay? Right, then from here we carry on till we reach our next instruction, which is here. So we've got DS Al Coda 2. So go back to the same Dal Segno and play to where it says Coda 2. So I'm going to grab a yellow pen here and I'm going to colour that in yellow. And also just next to it here, I'm just kind of going to do like a little yellow splodge. I could draw another I could draw another Dal Segno sign in there, but I'm not going to bother. I know what that means. I can see that it's yellow to yellow. So we go from the Dal Segno, we play to where it says Coda 2, which instantly is here, to Coda 2. So I'm going to get a fourth colour out, a green, and mark that. There we go. And find Coda 2, which I remembered was actually up here. So we're going to go all the way from that green, skip all of this until we get here. And then, oh, we've got a couple of repeats in here. So what I'm going to do is just grab another colour, I don't know, a pink, it doesn't really matter. So then I notice that we've got some repeats. So we've got a repeat here and the repeat is down there. There we go. And that is pretty much it. So again, it's very easy, if I bring it all back here, it's very easy to kind of see a snapshot of the piece because you can see exactly where you're going to and from, as long as you know the Dal Segno rules and things like that. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you kind of like it in this vlog kind of style, but it was just much easier than spending 2 hours setting up the camera very formally. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and I will see you in the next video. Bye.